Welcome to the Makerspace year of 2018. This year, we covered a variety of projects that all use a method called design thinking. This process is made up of 5 steps: empathizing, defining, ideating, prototyping, and testing. Remember that these steps do not have to be done in any particular order, and not all of the steps need to be used at one time. Our first step is empathize. When we empathize, we learn about the audience that we are designing for. We observe and interview those people. We can also ask the questions: who are they? What matters to them? And how do they feel? The second step to design thinking is to define. When we define, we create a point of view that is based on our users' needs and insights. A question we can ask are: what are their needs? Or how are they feeling? This is linked to empathizing. The third step is ideating. When we ideate, we brainstorm and come up with as many solutions as possible. They can be as creative, wacky, and wild as you want. Remember that all ideas are encouraged to be brought forward. Then after this is prototyping. In prototyping, we build a representation of one or more of our ideas to show to others. How can I show my idea? Remember that a prototype is only a rough draft, so no need to go for the perfect. Finally, we test. We share our prototype with other people so that we can gain feedback. We can ask what worked, what didn't work. After this, we upgrade our prototype using these answers. This is the design thinking process. Here is an example of one of my projects called Turtle Art. In Turtle Art, we wrote a piece of code that would make a turtle draw a work of art. In this project, we used ideating, prototyping, and testing. Ideating was used to brainstorm many different types of works of art that we could use for this project. When we used prototype, we had to build a representation, or draw it out on a different piece of paper to see what we wanted to build and what it would look like. Finally was testing. When we tested, we had to ask many other students to critique our work of art so that we can improve it. Here is another example of design thinking. When we created our websites, we had to use the process once again, but only use the last 3: testing, prototyping, and ideating. When we were ideating for this project, we brainstormed to come up with as many things that we could use inside of our website, including color scheme, content, and other pieces of work. When we prototyped, we drew out our ideas of the website onto pieces of paper. And finally, in testing, we created the website itself. We are still critiquing these websites to this day. Finally, we had a design challenge. In this challenge, we had to use all 5 steps for design thinking to design a backpack. In this challenge, we had to empathize by learning about our audience. Our audience was the community, or us. Then we had to define, creating our point of view of what happened. There were many natural occurrences over the summer, including forest fires and earthquakes. Next, we had to ideate to find out what our backpack survival kit should have. Finally, we prototyped, which was drawing our idea out on a piece of paper. We never had time to test because, of course, we can't make our own backpack at school in one day. In conclusion, I think that the design thinking process was very fun to use. This year, I learned how to use the process, what each step did to contribute to it, and how to use the process inside of my assignments. I want to encourage other students to use this process too inside of their own pieces of work. Thank you for watching, and this is the design thinking process.